I'm given to this thing because it could have been me. We're all in this together. All of us faculty were out there. Each one of us was potentially on this list. And it knocks me flat to see that my colleagues are no longer here. I can't work with them. There's people I don't know who aren't here anymore, and I won't have a chance to work with them. And so I'm finding that a real, it's giving me a lot of pause. And so it's the least I can do is just to help these people at least get a little bit of a help as they try to find a way to rebuild their lives.
You know, I've been thinking about this. The thing is, over the summer was painful and exhausting, and I think that's an understatement. And it was really, I think it wasn't just a gut punch that many people lost their jobs. They lost their jobs, no notice and no severance, and that to me is just so unacceptable. And I just can't. It never occurred to me not to give. It's hard for me to think about why, because it just never occurred to me that I wouldn't. I just have to, and because it's the right thing to do. I am convinced it's the right thing to do. So, and also I have a fair amount of survivor's guilt, like a lot of people.
The reason I'm giving is we tried really hard in negotiations to work out some sort of severance for people in this unfortunate situation, and the university took the position that they could not do it. Legally, they could not do it. I don't think we ever got a straight answer on that, but certainly was the intent for this settlement, which has to do with how we were compensated for developing these online classes. It was always the intention to use that to benefit the RIF. And if we couldn't do it directly, we were going to try to do it indirectly. So that's why I'm giving.
And I guess the way that I see it is, if you're in a boat and somebody is thrown overboard, you'd want to extend a helping hand to them. You'd hopefully want to pull them back on board. But if you can't do that, at least you'd want to give them something that would help them stay afloat. And to me, making a donation to the Faculty Care Fund is a small way to do that.
And the whole reason for my giving, I'd say there's two. First of all of a sudden, I came into possession through the action of our union, the negotiating team, into a chunk of change that I never thought I would have. And I see a golden opportunity to do something with that money that's going to benefit people that very well could have been me. I know that it very well could have been me. I know how close things were. And so when you have all of a sudden money that you never, suppose you found $200 blowing down the street, and you could pick up that money and you could help somebody. That money, you know, you weren't expecting to have it. You know somebody who could greatly benefit by it. To me, it's a no-brainer to help people who need help when you have money that just came into your possession and you can do something good with it.
For me, you know, like last summer was awful. It was, as Pam said, incredibly painful. It was sort of like, at the time, it felt like I was standing at the top of the cliff and there were 97 people clinging onto the edge of the cliff. And I'm standing there going,
I think she legitimately got froze on top of the cliff
like,
while she's
you know,
looking down.
You know, I was like negotiating. I was so articulate.
It was so good. I was like hanging on the edge of my seat. I was like, what is she gonna do from the top of the cliff? The top of the cliff.
And there's 97 people hanging on by their fingernails, you know, and they're going, no, this can't be. And I'm going, it actually is. This is happening. Let go. We'll see you on the other side. And we tried our best to get them severance. You know, that got voted down when the contract was voted down. And all along, I've just thought, you cannot treat people who you made this deal with. You gave them tenure. They did nothing to deserve this. And you can't just go, bye, you know, and that's it. It just shouldn't be this easy to do. And so for me, it was like when the university just absolutely flat out refused, it's like somebody's got to do it. And if it's not us, who is that going to be? You know, so it's the right thing to do.
And I'm just going to reiterate some things that have already been said. First of all, it very easily could have been me, seeing as how I really don't understand how the decisions were made to begin with. It almost seemed like a random choice, and so could have been me. I have a lot of colleagues that have expressed an interest in helping those that were on the RIF list, and so this seemed like a perfect opportunity. And like Rich said, both our negotiating team and the negotiating team before us worked really hard to help this group of faculty. And this is the best way, perhaps the only way we could come to do it.